children of planet Earth.
What's up, Rocket Scooter friends and family? We getting ready to roll.
Hello from the children of planet
Alright, sounds good. Matt, good morning. What are you watching?
Hey, good morning. I'm just waking up, taking a look.
Hello from the children of planet
Gain the skills for a new career and the confidence to go for it with a Google Career Certificate. Get flexible online training for in-demand jobs and achieve what matters to you. It starts with a Google Career Certificate.
Thought that I was going crazy.
Sorry, good morning. Here I am talking to myself here. I was busy trying to like log in to my investing to read the news. Hey, what's up? Sorry, I've been talking to myself here. All right. All right. We're gonna look at resilience as negative. We're bumping up against the top there. This is not a good trade. I need to bail already. All right, I'm out. Okay, I took a long on open. We rejected, went right back to open. Resilience is negative. I'm out of the trade. Took a loss, took a little bit of a loss. I'm not gonna do anything yet. So, all right. Now again, we have a couple of things. DD's 84, so DD float we're looking to have, but actionable. I longed right here. We lost through. We went up and we tapped right there. Resilience is negative. I bailed and took a loss. Easy peasy. Y'all see that? I was only down like maybe $100. Right now, I'm expecting this maybe, but I'm not going to gamble on that. I think I'm going to walk away on this one. All right. Everything's looking good at the open. Now, again, I want resilience to show itself to be a little more stable. It's right at 0. It's not strong enough for me to be long. It was strong at the open. I closed out. You see how I did that? Everybody, type yes in chat if you follow what I did. Right? I purposefully took a loss because I know I'm on the wrong side of the trade. This is how good traders can see things, and maybe if I'm right or wrong, you'll see that. I didn't like what I saw. We got that. I closed. I don't like what I see. This will work. If this recovers and starts to get a little bit higher than 0, I want to get it like 5 or 10 and stabilize there. I could take a long to something. Now, again, we have freedom to play through here. Looks like we have an impact red line somewhere in there. I'll have to go calculate that. But it's quick, right? So you might understand, look, this is what I expected to happen. And I got out of the way before something worse can probably happen. This could trade lower today. All right, that's it. So I made a quick decision. Sorry, I was muted. I was actually stuffing my face with some French toast. I remember, was it the 40-year-old virgin? Was it Leslie Mann? Like, let's get some fucking French toast. I always say that way too much when I get French toast. This was left over from yesterday's brunch. I was working so hard I DoorDashed from brunch. Okay. And now it could rally to about there, but I'm not going to see that as okay. I'm going to miss out on this. Right? There is some stock that is a high market cap stock that is moving around. We do this Raz here. It's like a Nasdaq resilience, yeah. So I opened at the market open, and I took a long in the S&P, and on this quick pop, I closed it out quickly because resilience numbers are less than 0, so it's kind of showing we're going to reject as a gap and go to the downside. So I bailed with a teeny loss, and I'm going to wait this one out a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for it to stabilize before I do anything else, but it doesn't look the best right now. Okay, so with these pops in Nasdaq and these pops in the S&P, let's go investigate. Let's find which stock is half gap breaking. So we're gonna go to the scanner. We're gonna go here. We're gonna look for half gap breaks. Up. Half gap breakdown. Half gap break in general. Show off liquidity map. Let's see who the big dogs today that are trading. Disney. I'm trying to find which down. Yeah, let's break it to the upside. Like I said, Distance to half gap. Oh, let me put that on here. I must be blind. Where is it at? Oh, distance to half gap right here. Okay. Let me close some of these things down here. Close, close. Map open, close. Okay, distance to half gap. So I'm going to do something to look for stocks that are like around a half gap. Google would be today what's moving. So let's go ahead and look at Google. You can see like the big market cap stocks and be ones that are running right at there. See how Google, this is what you're seeing. You have to look really closely on my screen. Y'all might see this. You see that Google popped right above half gap and came right back down. It doesn't have the candles, but you can see those dots right there. That when you see resilience bouncing around in both the NASDAQ and the S&P at the same time, and the NASDAQ one is a little bigger and the S&P is a little smaller, but resilience is flip-flopping up and down, your goal is to find what stock it is and watch it. It's going to start the high-hitting, heavy market cap stocks. So what I'm doing is I'm just looking at, let me go ahead and remove these. Let me show you. Here's the trick to do it. I need to just wake up. Okay, let's go ahead and do like all stocks, right? Let me just do like this. Watch. Let's just do liquidity map, current, and we'll select all stocks, right? And then we're going to sort by distance to half gap, and we're just going to find which ones are like right there that are big volume hitters. Oh, we're going to add, we'll add a price. Custom range. We're going to do price is greater than like $10, right? We'll remove all like the oops. Okay. Let's get rid of like all the penny stock and smaller ones. Okay, so we're gonna look and see. I'm just gonna scroll down. Microsoft also right at half gap. So Microsoft and Google essentially today. So you're gonna see as these guys are playing through here, but your Microsoft is just now above its half gap. I'm gonna see what that looks like. You see how that works too? Right on the edge. You can see how sensitive resilience is to that half gap. So Microsoft being right here on the edge. See how I found what stock it is very quickly, everyone? I want y'all to learn that trick. So now with the S&P looking great, I have a possible. Now again, I just bailed on a trade because I didn't want to take better safe than sorry. Now the actionability here is there to possibly there if resilience is positive. If we break through the box, the maximum is there today. I'm not going to trade that. I'm going to sit out on this one. So I could have got lucky if I held on, but I don't like to think and trade like this. And I'm going to watch the stocks that are right on the edge that are tilting resilience around. See resilient? You see how resilience is very responsive. Actually, look at the one over here to the right. You see how Microsoft is barely changing just a little bit is causing resilience to widely swing. That's how sensitive it is to those big hitting stocks. You can see the S&P is still negative and it's wobbling. The NASDAQ is negative and wobbling. So when you see them wobble at the same time, it's a trick to start looking at your big tech stocks usually. If you see the S&P moving and NASDAQ is flat, then your trick is to look at energy or financials. Usually those are going to be the ones that are causing the discrepancies. It has to be big companies because it would be enough to move S&P resilience around. So when we see what we see, right? Moving around. Okay, which big tech is it? And we found out it was Google and Microsoft. We're asking which big tech has a stock that's jumping across half gap around the edge. And these tiny little tilts are enough to kick the whole market over. Oh, my link to the Twitter Spaces? Oh. Yeah. So we had a new patch come out today again. You guys are realizing every single day we're gonna have something come out. Let me just post it in market chat. Okay, I posted it in market chat freely. So every day we have a new patch that comes out. Let me tell you what the patch came out today is. So everybody that's posting in tech support, what we ask everybody to do is to dig as hard as you can into whatever issue that you could have with the platform. Like we build all this stuff. Now we're gonna sit back and we're redesigning the architecture on the back end so that things are like smooth and working great. Now what we're doing now is asking you to report any issues you have and have patience with us, right? We want you to report as clearly as possible. Hey, when I load up the 5-minute candle, something freezes or whatever, right? Anything that you can see that we don't see because you look at every corner of this, right? We only know what visibility that we have in our personal experience. So put a full screen screenshot in tech support. And what we're doing is we're investigating everybody's stuff one at a time. So if you have an issue, somebody from our team might contact you. Don't be alarmed. It'll probably be Amjad or Nadim. You might see somebody message you and say, hey, I saw your issue in tech support. I'm here to work with you. So what they'll do is they'll contact you if they need any additional information, like your browser console stuff, console log, so they can step through like what causes the issue, and then they'll create a fix for everybody. We realize that if we go through everybody that just has anything, as we start fixing things, we'll start to notice a list of like root cause. So we'll have a root cause for a list of things that we're going to optimize. One of the things we're optimizing is a blank screen glitch that came with the local storage corruption from the risk interval table that we added. Adding indicators, other indicators on your chart, make liquidity map act funny, because liquidity map is designed to supersede the traditional indicator process, because we do stuff a little differently with this tool on top of the charts and these other connectivities it has, rather than some of these other indicators in TradingView normally just talk to the charts. So there's a little conflict there. It causes candle slowdowns, or it causes the platform to ask for an enormous amount of data and locks it up. So if y'all are experiencing any of these, trust me, we know what they are. I'm working on. Candles other than 1 minute sometimes don't update live. They'll freeze up. We fixed that today, actually, with the other indicators. That's another thing. And then the sockets disconnecting and the market open glitch. Just a couple little things here and there. And so like after we build what we built, and the next step is to go through and optimize it and make it super kick ass going forward. So any tech support, any issue you have, make sure you clarify and let us know, and we will add a project to it. So today's release, we fixed a bunch of stuff last week. Today's release is really, let me go reread what it says. Wait a minute, where'd it go? Oh, so the multi different time durations, that's fixed. Some cosmetic changes on the risk interval table were added. This is the next one. So what we did was, an example is if you want to look at your S&P and you want to see what your UDD bands are for S&P, right? Let me see. I can actually close this. Cool. Okay. So say that I want to say ES Z23. This will tell me the DD bands for ES Z23. What if I want to look at H24? I click H24. It'll change the contract. It'll change DD bands, and then now I can click this and load up that contract here. So that's great. Well, I'm gonna report. So those are the changes today. Let them know one thing. So every day we're gonna have like these brand new releases, and we're leaning on you guys to report stuff that we don't see. So this is gonna be a great month. All right. So now that I'm looking at the market right now, things are still kind of on the fence. Trying to turn a little bullish rather than normal. And if I took a little loss, that's okay. I don't really think too much about it. Probably limited upside today. Stocks just kind of bouncing around. I don't really see anything that's giving me confidence to do much. All right, y'all. Things are looking better now, and so even though I missed out on this, there might be some limited upside today. Not getting a clean signal, it's just not something I would have loved being part of, so I'm glad I'm out of this. All right, we're looking at custom scanner presets. Oh yeah, that's eventually something we're gonna do. We already have one custom scanner preset, which literally says custom. but it has very limited choices right now. Like it would be like this. So custom would be like you come in and you can choose different things. You can choose different operands and choose different outputs. So in the future, it'd be like you can choose technical indicators that you're using. If moving average 10 is greater than moving average 8, if this is greater than hedge pressure, like you'd be able to basically customize your scanner. This is the framework, and we stopped building into it to build other stuff. But like just as the test, we created like if prices, if price, operand, value, or volume. So these are we'll eventually, yeah, that's very concerned. Today's probably a coffee day. I woke up. One of the worst feelings in the world. I know you guys don't know. I garden as like a hobby. One of the worst feelings in the world is when it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. You go out there and you water all your plants. Like I'm installing like a drip irrigation system to like to automate all of this, because I live in a 4-story house with like a rooftop balcony in the middle of the city. So, you know, I gotta get water up to the top floor. The balcony gets great sunlight, but terrible water. You know, connection's bad. There's no connection up there. And build a system that's like on a timer. So until then, I'm just walking water and hand up 3 flights of stairs every day. 6 or 7 times a day. Well, not every day, but every day I need to water. So last night it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm carrying up a full water can, like doing my tricep work, shoulder work, water all the plants, and then woke up this morning. It's thunderstorming. Well, fuck you, universe. You water all your plants, and the universe does it for you. And then I got a free workout in, I guess. So today is a rainy day, at least for me. So I'm drinking coffee today. Are you guys? What's up? Is this Ed Sheeran? 17. I don't know the words of that song. Everybody's first dance song at their wedding. So UVXY has like nothing to play with here. Okay. So yeah, no real good setups. Now it's starting to manifest itself into a decent setup. Now, and again, the reason I didn't jump in on the long here is just because it wasn't good enough for me to care about that. And this is kind of the limit today. You know, open below hedge, close below hedge, open and bear, close below bear. The rarest thing would be to break here and keep going. So while things are starting to build themselves a little better, excuse me, not a big fan of what I see. And this is probably the end of the move today. So y'all notice with my live trading, and you will notice this, my goal, and you'll see me do this a lot. I'm so picky. A lot of times you'll see me bail on something that could have won, more so than hold on to something that's losing. A lot of time you'll see me do exactly what I did, get something, not like it, walk away, and miss out. But that's the difference between me and everyone else in this world, and I pay the bills with trading. If you don't like it, you fold. It doesn't matter. You get 2 10s out the door in poker hand. You look around the table, you don't like what you see, you still fold a good hand sometimes. I didn't get 2 10s. I got a 3 and I got a 5 and a 6. But now it's looking like it was a better setup. My ultimate long would have been from here to here, so my play would have played out. And now it looks like it is manifesting. But A lot of times it just, if I don't like it, I'll quickly walk away from it. Dude. Coconut in this French toast? Ugh. I love coconut. I love coconut flavor. I love coconut slices. I don't like shredded coconut. I don't know if it's a texture thing. But look. I don't know if y'all saw the, was it Sheng Wang, the comedian? Was he talking about like mounds and almond joy? Like, there's no joy in almond joy. Remember the joke? It was like, there's nothing joyful about that. And Mounds is a terrible name for a candy bar. I don't remember. I'm paraphrasing. It was on Netflix. It's like you take something I already hate, and you add almonds to it, and give it and say it's joyful. It's still not joyful. I hate it. And so like shredded coconut, whatever. Just it gets in your teeth and it's all gritty. And I don't know if it's like boiled or something, to where it's not like that soft, smooth flavor of like smooth texture of fresh coconut. It's like gritty sliced carrots or coconut flavored. Put some damn coconut in this French toast. Okay, so you see how today, like I'm not expecting a lot more upside from here. If anything, it can have one more bounce to retrace it there, but it's gonna fizzle out. And I don't think I'm gonna short it on there. Like best case scenario. Best case scenario. And Rez is gonna call the shots today. Rez is gonna pivot us right here, right? It's like plastic. It literally is like eating plastic. All right. Great day today. You guys see anything you like? I'm thinking like staring at the scanner today. Nothing is really appealing to me. Yeah, let's look at AMD. All right, let's get off futures today. Just load up the big chart here. All right, AMD non-actionable mean reversion chart up, kind of stuck in the middle. Not bullish, not bearish on this side. Let's take a look at monthly map on AMD in general. Ooh, look at this. Even some of the bigger tech stocks, look at this. Bulls are exiting very rapidly. AMD is on a downward slope. This could be the start of something bad for some of these tech stocks. Bulls exiting, bears exiting, and then entering. So it's both sides are losing, or both sides are getting out of the way. So it tells me it's more likely to chop its way down and become more volatile. There's the volatility. This is getting bigger. Look at your cheat sheet. Will show you the same thing. So yeah, this is forecasting some pretty nasty downside. Let me load up my cheat sheet here. Here, right? So let's clean this all up. I'll show you. As they're spreading apart, volatility is increasing. So bulls are exiting, bears are exiting, which means liquidity is decreasing. So over time, volatility is going up, which means the V's are going to get bigger. So imagine if this is the shape of the V and it gets bigger, right? So it's about to get choppier in AMD. Let's see what, on that note, let's go ahead and, oh wait, I say TSM, oops. TSM. TSM's looking the same way. Intel's kind of looking the same way short term, but slightly better. I'm just kind of cycling through chip and chip makers. Okay, that's flat neutral. So it's not looking good for the sector, especially. Right, they're all very similar. Nvidia is just the only superstar. Like Nvidia, it's a great example of this. Does everybody see on here? The volatility in Nvidia is getting larger. This is going to be, this is starting to manifest itself into being a very nasty fall and winter. A lot more than I thought earlier in the year. Right, monthly maps don't lie. Your V is getting bigger, right? And this is an example of your V getting bigger. Y'all see that? This is a great example of that. That's your volatility increase. Pretty neat. We're gonna find this music. I'll give you the information. If you send me $1 million, you have to send me 1 penny a year for 100 million years. Okay, deal? I'm gonna collect if you don't send it. That's a great deal. All right, you shook on it. It's called a lo-fi geek. That particular, not only stuff for like pop covers, but this particular playlist is pop covers, which I like. He has all kind of different, just cool like lo-fi chill beats. Like get stoned to do a crossword puzzle music. Oh, it's great. It's like immediate relaxation. But this is cool because he's like covering pop songs, you know. This is, what is this? This is Coldplay, right? And it was like Adele earlier, and then it was Ed Sheeran. Yeah, his stuff is great. Can you send a glitter in a post and said, no, don't glitter bomb me. You'll buy a lifetime rocket scooter. That's a great deal as well. Lo-fi is the great. I know, like I used to watch gaming streamers sometimes. A long time ago, it was MMO I used to play. I'd watch some of my favorite gaming streamers just, you know, grinding out some levels. I used to play some Korean MMOs. You know, if you ever play any MMOs from Korea, Koreans are brutal with their games. They love grindy games where you just grind something out for like weeks at a time. It's not just like, it's not even fun. It's just repetitive grinding. And so you needed something to pass 8 and 10 hours at a time while you just did the same thing over and over and over again for weeks. But the only way you don't go crazy is some good tunes. So like watching some streamers grind it out with some lo-fi in the background, it was just kind of like, okay, it made it easy to pass the time. And I just got hooked. It's good background music for, you know, no copyright either. You guys know me. I listen to like pretty much everything. Natively, I listen to rock and metal. That's like my first love of music. So I listen to hardcore metal, like all kind of stuff. Melodic death metal is probably my favorite genre of metal right now. But like, I listen to EDM, I listen to pop, I listen to classical, I listen to jazz when I cook. It's like I listen to like music. Anything that's great, I listen to. Like half the time you'll be over and you'll hear me listen to like, just pick a band. Yesterday I was listening to Avenged Sevenfold, and last week I fried chicken. Had Moonlight Sonata playing in the background. Like it's just like I don't have any particular taste. Music is good if it's good music, And so kind of like a little bit of everything. But I can't play metal on my stream. I mean, I could, but then I would get like copyright strike. So I had to pick like copyright free chill music. Chill is good. All right, so you see how I didn't really see a lot. Now the question is, if I did want to do risk and reward on a trade from here to trade off of half gap, resiliences are good and kind of recovering. There is a possible long entry from here for one final trade. I would long, if I wanted to, I'd long from here, and here I would support as long as resilience stays greater than 0. I can trade there. So I might actually get an opportunity. So right now I'm going to watch the S&P. There's a second entry I could possibly take. Now again, this is not too far apart that I could probably take a micro and another micro there, or a couple micros. So long from here and long from here because the conditions are there to long. And our R&R is actually decent for this trade. To dip in right there and stop right there. You see that? So what I'm going to do is, while I didn't elect to not take that dip as it was an appropriate dip to take, if I just get lucky and we fall down to here and start trading and resilience stays above 0, I'm going to scoop in here, at least to scalp through the gap one more time. So I didn't miss this one, and actually this is just bad on my part. I'm just a little rusty. I would have normally entered right back in here. The signs were good to take along there. Let's see that. So that would have been a decent entry. The R&R is okay there. That's okay. I need a new hobby. I'm trying to pick up new things to keep myself occupied whenever I'm like in between bursts of work. Like my hobbies, I make bread. That's one of my hobbies I already do. It's not about like brewing beer, because brewing beer and making bread are like pretty much the same thing in a way. It's a similar concept. Fermenting grains to make bubbles. One of them you just eat, the other one you drink. But I might get into maybe brewing, but that's like a whole. I mean, you got to buy the stuff and get into it, and it's expensive. But gardening is my thing now, so I'm starting to like. We're kind of in the market to look for another house, but I'm looking for something like not so city townhome. Let me show you what my house is like. Okay, I live in like the city. So like next to me, there's like a house, and then there's like another house that looks different. They don't look anything alike. And then me, I'm this. There's all these little houses around me, and I'm this giant thing. And I have like a spiral staircase that goes, not spiral, but it's like a box that goes straight up. It's 4 floors, right? And I got like this rooftop thing. And I'm growing my garden like right up here on my rooftop. I have this huge balcony. It's 15 by 20. It's massive. So for a balcony, it's huge. So I thought about like putting an awning and some porch furniture and a pit. And I'm like, whatever. So I have the whole thing lined with plants right now. Problem is I have water fixture here on the ground. So either A, I got to route the water from the water hose, or B, get a plumber to come in and tap in interior of the house and draw a line out here. Right now, I'm stretching a water hose through my backyard and up the top and the back. So like that's my new hobby, right? I mean, my new hobby is balcony gardening. I've always had like a real garden. So what we're looking for is to take this thing and knock it on its side. I want a house that's like this. I love walking up 4 flights of stairs every morning, up and down. But I also miss having a yard. I can sit out in the yard with my coffee and water the grass like an old man. Cooking's pretty rewarding. Yeah, gardening helps me want to cook more because I'm like growing my own stuff. So I'm like, okay. My garden's pretty dope. You name it, I've got cucumbers, peas, carrots, zucchini, squash, 5 different kind of peppers, banana peppers, habanero, bell peppers, all the herbs, cilantro, arugula, thyme, rosemary, oregano, mint, That's everything. I'm probably going like 40 different things. I'm pretty decent at it. I've been gardening a long time, but like I didn't do it for a while because this house I've had doesn't have a yard, and I love building like flatbeds in a yard. Very easy to build, but then like I'm in a balcony, so all I'm doing is like I'm using plastic containers with holes drilled in them, and I built a small rain collection system with some buckets. So the cool thing is like I have this yeah, market's still moving. So I have like this like, let me just draw like here. Like I have this little thing, this little ledge that wraps around this. So I have like 5-gallon buckets sitting here. It's like rain collection. Just for now. And like because I had them. And so what I was gonna do is I was gonna drill holes in them and then gravity feed those to a drip irrigation across my balcony to get rid of the water hosing, but it's not going to rain enough. It was really hot to keep this, and I'd have to get like a real tank to really store some water in it. But anyways, that's what I'm like, that's gonna be my next step, is just having fun. And I'm gonna abandon this whole project anyways when I move, if I move. But I want to find like a house that has like a yard. That's my next step. All that on, yeah, because this is the only thing I have. The funny thing is, if you go to like my house, actually looks like this, right? And then so I have a yard, right? So imagine that this is like, let me think of this. Like I have a yard that like here, my front door is about this size. Okay, just imagine you have a front door like this. Okay, so garage right here, and then like there's the driveway. There's a sidewalk that goes to the front. Here's my yard. Ready? That's it. It's like maybe 8 feet by maybe 6 feet. And then behind here, there's an air conditioner right there. And then it's gravel all the way around the house. So I literally have a yard that is about the size of a bedroom on a front yard. And there's a tree planted there. So I have no yard. It's city life, baby. That's the price you pay if you want to. Well, Texas, you could still get land in the city, but the place where I'm living, it's like all historic Houston. So it's like there's still cobblestone streets in my neighborhood that are there from the 1920s that they've paved over, and the paving's coming off, and you can see the little cobblestone the horse carriages to go over. It's like the gentrifying hip cool area called Midtown. It's like all the bars are building up here and stuff. So unfortunately I don't get the luxury of like, you know, an 8,000 square foot plot or something. I used to have that in my last house. It was massive yard. 12,000 square foot lot. What are good areas of Austin? I like Austin a lot. Like West Austin's the bougie area. So that's the part I think is great. Northeast Austin is what I'm not too familiar. It's been a while because I actually looked for investment properties in Austin 4 or 5 years ago. No, didn't pull the trigger. I was looking at a place called Manor, I think is what it was, in Northeast-ish Austin, because that's where the tech companies are spawning up at, like eBay and isn't Tesla there now. Like a bunch of companies, but they're all in the northeast part. So that's like the that's like the area for tech workers and stuff. But like the rich area of Austin is on the west side. Everything else I'm not really sure because I didn't look. I was looking at my strategy back in the day. Before I was like, what am I gonna do with? I had a couple millions of dollars to waste on something. Okay, let me invest in a gentrifying area where tech companies are coming in, and then lease those mofos out to these big tech companies to then house workers at double the price you would to a residential person because it's corporate housing. I was like, cha-ching, I'm gonna make a fortune. And then I decided to build a trading platform with those millions of dollars instead. So that's the answer to that. That was my investment. I was like, let's do trading platform. How about that? You spent a week in Dallas a few years ago. Loved everything. We actually have been looking in Dallas. ourselves. Now, to me, now Nicole's not from, she's not from Houston. She's from Colorado. So Dallas is like where we have family and friends that live there. Houston is like my family and my friends. Her family is Dallas. But we spend a lot of time there. And so we've been talking about moving there. So Dallas, I'm going to say, compared to Houston, Houston is infinitely better than Dallas. And it's not just like a rivalry thing. Like, it's just, there's more stuff to do. There's more restaurants. There's a better bar and party culture. Houston's more like bougie big city. Dallas is more like still figuring itself out. But Dallas is great. So to me, it's like a lateral move with a slightly less cool stuff than Houston. But Houston and Dallas are both amazing if you're not from there. So like her, she's so excited. She's like, oh my God, I love Texas. I love Houston. I love Dallas. And to me, it's like, yeah, all the big cities in Texas are great. It's the best place to live. I mean, if you guys live elsewhere, as far as like for stuff to do, and it's like one of the best places to live for the buck you spend. Yeah, to me, Dallas is a lateral-ish move. So, but it'll be fun. Houston, by far, is like the best restaurant scene you've ever been to. Any of the cities, you go to Vegas, you go to New York, they have great food. If you don't believe me, you got to tour around Houston for the restaurants. Houston and Louisiana are like two of the best food cities there are. Houston's got all the restaurant tiers around the world are coming out here to Houston now. It's easy and cheap to build up, and it's just becoming like ultra bougie. This last 3 or 4 years, we've been getting like these lounge style club restaurants. Like you go there and it's just like this one place I went to for New Year's. You know, they're serving like sushi and caviar. There are people dressed up as mermaids in the middle of a fountain holding tridents, like dancing. Water's flowing on them. There's a guy like dressed as Poseidon sitting on a throne in the middle. It's this bougie lounge, house music playing in the background. Turns into a club after dinner. These are popping up like wildfire. Like the scene is just exploding. Yeah, pretty fun. Do I like or hate the Cowboys? I like the Cowboys. That's like the closest thing to a team that I like in football, in pro football. I like college football more, but as a kid, I was just such an Oilers fanboy. I was like, we go to so many Oilers games, and the Texans just broke my heart so many times I can never go back. She was a mean girlfriend, I'll tell you. Get to the playoffs a couple times. That's about it. Ever since then, I don't think I've been to a Texans game in a decade. So I would be more akin to being a Cowboys fan, which should make Dallas more fun. But if you live in Texas, most Texan folks are more into college football and pro football anyways, because our pro teams usually have sucked. There really hasn't been a good pro Texas team in a while. But Texas college sports are always some of the top, in the country. A&M's great, UT's great. Like baseball, you got there. All those schools are great. Baylor's great. Like Texas is great for sports, college sports especially. And like the difference between all of them, like Houston. If people don't really realize this, if you look at like the top 10 cities in the country by population, 4 of them are in Texas, or 3 of them are in Texas. Houston, Dallas, no, 3 of them. Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio are all in the top 10. People might be like, San Antonio? Didn't know? You know that San Antonio was one of the top 10 cities by population? I didn't know that until recently either. I live in Texas. I was completely shocked that it was as big as it was. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philly, San Antonio, San Diego, and Dallas. San Antonio is bigger than Dallas. It's crazy, right? Dallas is kind of small. It's the metro that makes it bigger, like the suburbs, the Fort Worth area, all that. But like the city itself is small. So Houston, here's the difference between all of them. Austin is like, if you're a fitness or health nut, you're a hippie, you're a guru hippie, you're alternative, you're open-minded, weird, like me. Austin's a perfect place to go. Austin is where you go and people will accept anything about you and just kind of be cool as shit. Musicians, artists, like the whole city of Austin is like like kind of like the part of area I live in called Montrose Midtown. This area is kind of like artsy, barsy. All of Austin's like that. So Austin's cool. Dallas is like very like professional, like a lot of professional culture out there. So like the downtown scene's pretty cool. Houston, the downtown scene is dead. The auxiliary parts of Houston are different. So Houston's like a patchwork of all things. And what's great about Houston is that you have restaurants, theaters. I mean, the theater district in Houston's massive. You get a lot of cool, like, just fun stuff to do. San Antonio is like very touristy, and like times ago, it's very cultural. The heritage is great. San Antonio is an old Spanish mission town, so it's very like it's a very like Latin infused city. I mean, there's like so many good restaurants and music. Like you'll really experience like just kick-ass Spanish and Mexican influence in San Antonio, and it's like 2 hours from Houston. It's like the cool thing about that, and then 30 minutes from San Antonio, there's a German town called New Braunfels. So like that little west area of Texas is like a bunch of cool cultural settlements. You can just travel around. It's like you're in Spain, then you're in Mexico, then you're in Germany. It's kind of fun. So like out west is where you want to just kind of like disappear. It's like a big city without feeling like a big city. It's kind of cool. It was very touristy though, because like the Alamo was there, and you know, you get a lot of touristy kind of places, which usually means shittier restaurants. It's touristy. But San Antonio is a fun city too. So like all these cities in Texas are great. They're all really good. You're in Dallas to defend your dissertation. Lots of business conferences were going on at the time. Stay at the Hyatt Regency. Oh yeah, I mean Dallas being like an international hub, you know, for travel and stuff. And it's central to like a lot of things, right? You get a lot of professional culture is just like huge in Dallas. There's so many places. Like all my friends live out there. There's always some kind of event or happy hour that you go. Big companies are doing stuff all the time. It's pretty cool. All the three cities, though, I think none of them feel like a big city. Like you go to Chicago, I've been to Chicago so many times. Like you walk down Michigan Avenue, right? And you know what a city feels like. It's just busy, traffic, people. None of the cities in Texas are like that. They're not like gridlock traffic. It's not like packed out. You walk downtown in Houston in the middle of the day, it looks dead. It's like, where are the millions of people that live here? It looks weird. You go at night, it's like a ghost town. You don't see cars in the street. You don't hear people honking at each other. It is the quietest big city in the world. It's so dead at night. And tons of reasons why that is, but it's just such a weird feeling. If y'all go to any of the cities in Texas, you'll notice the same thing. It's not like New York. It's not like Philly. It's not like it's like it's big, but it feels empty, which is, I don't know how we do it, but it's because we have a lot of land. It doesn't feel like packed in like most cities. I think some things are more spread out. So the downside is you have to drive an hour to get somewhere. Like you can't, there's no place you go and park and walk from bar to bar like you can in a lot of places. You're typically Ubering from place to place. So that's the one thing we don't have, is like everything's just patchworked and thrown around. But I do love living in Texas. It's really easy to be ahead in life if you just relocate to Texas, because your cost of living goes way down, and there's no state income tax. You know, all these little benefits of being here. Plus, like, things are, if you are okay with living in the suburbs, you had a 4,500 square foot house that barely costs $400K, less than $100 square foot. You can get yourself a. You go to the city and you get like a 1,500 square foot 2-bedroom bungalow for $1.5 million, and $1.5 million gets you a 11,000 square foot McMansion in the suburbs. And then it's just 30 minutes outside the city. Great school districts. We don't have train. We have freight trains. We have so like in the city, there's no the public transit in Houston is really bad because you can think. I don't know how bad the YouTube algorithms are if I mention some names. You can think the big oil barons, certain brothers and other people that lobbied very heavily to kill public transit so that we would waste more oil and spend more on gasoline. Thank you, Houston oil culture, for that. So we don't have a good public transit system here. As most major projects, politicians were like bought to turn them down or to make them impossible to be finished. So we have a metro rail that drives a couple places, like a public bus rail thing that goes to a couple of places, like in the middle of the city. Like it goes to the football stadium and back to the center. It's a joke. We don't have a subway. We have city buses that drive around. Usually what they usually are bringing people into the city for work, and then they take the bus home. But public transit is just horrible here. We have trains, but it's mostly like, it's not passenger trains. It's like trains, shipping, freight and stuff. So I know, right? It's not like we have like not like the L in Chicago or like the little trams in San Francisco. Like those cool. Yeah, being an oil-based city. They hate energy efficiency. It's very true. That's why we never had that stuff. So we usually Uber or Lyft. That's pretty much the public transportation now. But that's why like Houston's spread out with roads, and you just drive everywhere. Everyone has a car and everyone drives. That is the one downside. Like, what's fun about some other cities is you just park, or you just, take a bus or train or something, go to the city, and then you just walk from like place to place. You can hit up a bunch of bars that are on the same street or the same row. Here you have to plan out your destination and then Uber from place to place. Certain areas of town have like lots of bars and restaurants, but it's not a walkable city. That would be the one downside. All right, nothing doing today, guys. Exactly what I said I wanted to see happen is happening. I didn't take this long to there. I was debating on taking the long from there. Resilience is still not showing any signs of life, so I didn't. But you see how I kind of just saw this happening at the beginning of the day? I longed here. I closed out there. I missed out on this. We kind of came back to where we started. And I could see that, right, using rocks together. So I'm in reality, what's going to happen, I said earlier, was I could long there and long again and try to trade just to fill the gap. And then I just still opted not to do it because it was not clear enough for me. So you see, the two trades I both picked, both of them were winners, but I took a small loss to avoid possible downside. Resilience gave me the nasty signal. That's how life goes. We'll call that a day. The best part about learning to trade, trying to learn how to trade, is that trading is all about patience, right? You want to hit some, it's not just about having these big plays every single day, like big winning plays, avoiding big losers. Though the point is avoiding deviating from your strategy. If you have a thing that works, maintain a high win rate because you know what looks good and you know what doesn't look good. You can walk away when something doesn't look good, just like folding a hand out the door with a small loss. The gains will come if you don't lose all your money. Right? So you'll see me, I'm very quick to bail, but like I said, defense is what wins championships. Offense might sell tickets, but you don't see me taking abnormal amounts of risk when I trade. Only when I'm confident. You see my confidence low, I bail from a trade quick. Those are the habits I want you to learn. In and out with pure confidence. And now the market's, pretty much called it on point with what it's doing. So it was kind of easy to see. And yeah, so that's what we want to hopefully teach you guys how to do that. So we'll see you all tomorrow.